Hey, what's up everyone? Berto Boyd here. I'm going to play through a little bit of my original tune Mariposa for you. This tune was inspired by a certain time that I lived in Santa Barbara, and I had just met Jose Luis de la Paz from Huelva, Spain, and he was a big inspiration to me, still is to this day, an amazing composer and pretty much the best dance accompanist on the planet. Amazing, right? Jose is numero uno, man. He is a total guitar god. Make sure to follow him if you don't. And you should also know about our project called Flamenco Guitar Class. We have a great YouTube channel together. So it's a project that Jose and I started back in about 2005. And essentially, I transcribe all of his falsetas. So we have a great storefront with tablatures and notations, as well as some of my stuff where if you follow the link to buy the sheet music today, you will see all of the other sheet music available. So I appreciate your support. I've been transcribing music since I was about, 14 years old. It was really just a hobby, and it turned into a job, kind of a dream job, to be able to hang out with a guy like him who is literally an encyclopedia of flamenco. So I'm very honored to be his friend, one of his students, and a colleague. Anyways, guys, let's get started on learning this tune. Okay, so essentially we're in the key of E major. So it starts with an E major 7th chord here. This beautiful A7, and then it does it again with a variation. Now we have this little. Now we have a 2-5-1 to. So after the 2-5 to G sharp minor to the 3 chord minor, we're going to have another 2-5 to the 2 chord F sharp minor 11. So I have this C sharp flat 9 with that 4 string open. Sharp minor 11 chord. I feel like Gordon Ramsay. It's so beautiful. Right, and the second guitar plays that line up an octave. And then that leads us right into the estribillo. Then that takes us to the A section, which was really the first thing that I wrote when I wrote this tune. I had just moved to my house in Portland, this is about 5 years ago, in a super happy place, channeling Santa Barbara, and so this is what we came up with. And then of 5, and then 5 of 4, borrowed dominant chords are your friend. So then this leads us to the B section, which is the solo section. We're gonna use beautiful ocean chords here. So we have the C sharp minor 7 add 9. Also another major 7 add 9, right? right? So, okay, so the solo wraps up with yet another 2-5-1. You guys got to know your jazz, okay? So here we're going to be going 2-5-1 to the original key of E major, right? So I'm going to go. That chord. That's a great chord. Do you guys know what this one is? Essentially, this is a C7 chord, right? We all know this shape, right? So what's the 5 of a C7 chord, right? The 5 is a G, so C, E, G. So if we put the 5th in the bass, and then we flat the 5, so essentially we have a C7 over G flat. Now, interesting enough, when I said inharmonic, what that means is it's the same chord, but it's spelled differently. And sometimes it will have a different function. So this C7 over G flat is also a ding, 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 F sharp 7, sharp 5. Right? So we all know like an F sharp 7 chord. But instead of the regular perfect 5th, have here, we have a flat 5, which is a very awesome jazz chord that you actually rarely see in flamenco. You have to, with certain types of jazz harmonies, you have to handle them with kid gloves. But this is just one of those places where it worked great. So, right, and now I'm going to go to this beautiful section, or I'm going to A major. So how do we go from that to this? Well, let's think about it. If I'm thinking of this chord as an F sharp, right, I'm going up a third. So up a third is always a great option as far as progressions go. So now we have, there's our 5 chord now. Now this is the 5 of, what? 5 of 4 in E major, right? So, right, because A major 7th is the 4 chord in the key of E major. Back to that B7. Minor chord that we use again, because now we're going to go to, so essentially we are temporary modulating to the key of B Phrygian. Now in flamenco we have what I like to call forced modulations. So how this works is essentially whenever you go up a third, right? Remember that any chord up a third or down a third, it's going to share function, right? Because chords are built in thirds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Say that again, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So if you know how to build your chords, then you will know that any chord that is a third away from the chord that you're on is going to share the notes and it's going to share function, right? So a very common device that we use in flamenco is to play the next Phrygian key up a minor third. So in G sharp Phrygian, right? Up a minor third is B Phrygian. And then it goes right back to the estribillo. So that takes us into the C section. I love this part. It's a really cool part, and I was able to use some little things that I've composed over the years that I wasn't able to figure out how to use. You know, it's kind of one of those little motifs that was in the library, saved in the library, and then like one day I know that I'll figure something out. I'll be able to use that. It's really cool, and I'll show it to you. I'll explain it to you when I get there. Okay, C section. What are we doing? We're gonna go to essentially the 7 chord, the minor 7 flat 5 in the key of E major. So we're gonna do this little run. Right? And then we're gonna do the run again. Alright, so now we're going to the 6th chord, minor chord. Now, whoa, we have a diminished chord, a G sharp diminished chord. Another one, we're going to F sharp minor, and then another. So G sharp minor 7, F sharp minor 7, E major 7th. Now here's the part of Sunday room. This full. I've been trying to figure out a place to use that for years. A 5 of 2. That was a lick that I had written years ago, and you know, it lands on this very cool chord, and I just couldn't figure out any place to use it, but I kind of saved it like I always do. When I find something cool, I save it in the library, and I know that one day something will come along and I'll be able to use it. So all right, now really fun part. B major 9. Now we have A major. Back to A major. And there's that A minor chord now. This is essentially like a parallel minor. Whenever you're on a chord, remember you always have the option of making that chord minor. And who made that popular? The Beatles. It's the science of theory. You know, it's an amazing thing to know theory and to be able to use it to achieve certain types of emotional things that you're wanting to express through the music. So I do teach private lessons. If you are interested, I do a crash course in music theory. I will essentially give you 4 years of theory that you would get in university in probably about 6 months. So, right? Minor, and that's the Dorian chord. So, if you guys don't know what I mean by Dorian is essentially a mode in the diatonic key based off the 2 chord, and it's a minor chord. It's a minor scale, but with a sharp 6. So I think of it as the funk chord, right? So, right? Or if you think of like this shape. Anyways. Now we have this little ascending part. Diminished chord. So I'm building some tension, playing an extension of the 5 chord, right? So in the key of E major, the 5 chord is B7, right? And up a third from the 5 chord is the 7 chord, which is the diminished chord. So it is a D sharp diminished, but we don't start on D sharp diminished. We actually start on C diminished. But check it out. C, D sharp, F sharp, A. It's all the same chord, right? So you should all know your diminished chords and their function. So and then E major 7. All right. Buy the sheet music, guys. Support me. I'm going to be putting out a lot more material like this. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave me a comment and have a great day.